Um, creating a safe space.
Thank you.
Look.
She's eating right. She's eating right now.
Oh, okay,
Hmm.
okay, okay. Um, how you doing tonight, Sean?
I'm doing okay. I'm getting ready. I got my show coming up not too long, so prepping for it.
Oh, what do
I'm
you have
prepping
going
for it.
on?
Well, I am the
Oh,
president
okay,
of,
got you.
you know, Toxic Island. I have my show called Toxic Thoughts, Sober Minds every Wednesday at noon, but every other Sunday we do a nighttime one after dark Toxic Thoughts, Sober Minds on Toxic Island where we get extra toxic and raunchy.
I'm not
So,
gonna be on it tonight, but I'm gonna be on the next one.
Okay.
Hello.
yep, real sister this, say, yeah, yeah. So you want to see a toxic side of sister come through, you will see
And I
that.
sent
Oh,
my
I've seen
picture
that.
already.
She did. She
I've seen
did. But
that.
it will be tonight at 9 p.m. So make sure you tune into that. It's a fun show. It's not toxic like you think too much, but tonight probably will be.
Okay.
Man, on Sundays, yeah. You got me the last two times, but I'm not toxic. I just want
Don't
everybody to know
don't
I'm
do
not
that. Don't
toxic.
do that. We're not gonna do that.
Depends on who you ask. It depends
Don't
on
do
who
that.
you ask.
I'm not toxic.
Right.
Stop
Okay.
that.
Not right now.
Two Sundays from now, tune in to find out if she is or isn't.
Exactly.
I shouldn't have said nothing.
You set yourself up.
I did. Okay, so for Black History Month, I am going to read Maya Angelou. I'm gonna quote it again. If you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. And that's what I had to do today. I had to change my attitude because I didn't like something and I can't change it. So I'm
Mm.
changing my attitude. And that's
So
by
you
Maya
doing that
Angelou.
to
Got it.
like it, to end up liking it, or changing your attitude? Like how? 'Cause that's the only part I don't fully
So I
understand.
won't. I know it. I know it's gonna be recorded, but so I won't act an ass. I'm changing my attitude and
Okay.
keeping my
Okay.
peace.
Because there's things that you just can't change in life, and so you have to deal with it. So you can walk around and what,
Facts.
hold on to that anger and let that eat you inside all the time, or you can change how you address it, change how you look at it, and try and at least fix your mindset behind it.
Hey, it
Gotcha.
happened. It
Okay.
happened. You can't change it, so you gotta move on.
Yeah.
Very
And you
true.
gotta forgive. See, everybody don't know that word. People don't like that word. I'm not forgiving them, but you gotta forgive. I know it's about creating a safe space, but that's how you gotta create a safe space. You gotta forgive.
Certainly one way.
Yeah.
That's
They
true.
do. They say forgive, but don't forget. So it's lessons learned.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, only if people can forgive and not go back on it the next time you get mad at each other.
Sit and dwell on it.
Women.
That right there is
Sorry. Go ahead.
crazy. But yeah. Um
You see the toxic, right? You see it, you can see it, right? It's
I'm
there.
It's
not
a little
toxic.
bit.
It's there.
Hmm.
hmm
It's a smidget. Okay, okay.
Hmm.
But we need to create a safe space so that we
Yeah.
can sit and what?
And,
What are we creating a safe
and
space for?
sometimes I tend to play this song right here. And the other one that I had started with, the other You Are Enough song, I tend to play them
Hmm.
like at night when my kids are, I be sitting up here by myself. I just be by myself. And I love it.
Yeah.
I
There's
People
no
can't
escape for me.
understand. They just be like, doing? Why are you by yourself? Girl, I love being by myself. My name ain't in nothing.
Right.
The same way I am on this app is the same way I am out here. Maria can tell you. She be like, "What you doing?" Uh, watching a movie. I don't bother
I don't
nobody.
know.
I don't.
He, he says she knows your real toxic side. So,
Well, can I ask a question?
Yes.
When is it appropriate to have the me, myself, and I attitude? Sean,
Mm.
what do you think?
Man, when is it appropriate to have like an all about you type of attitude?
Mhm.
Um, Man, that's a hard one. 'Cause, for me, I'm a family man. I got little girls, and anytime I have my own me type of attitude or time, I kind of feel a little guilty, because that's time like I could spend with my girl or my daughters. You know what I mean? But I think when you feel that stress level hitting a certain point,
Mm-hmm.
because everybody keeps stuff inside, it builds up. When you feel it overfilling, that's that's definitely time you need to take to yourself. You know what I mean? And just get the woosah. A lot of women and even men like to take that time to even cry. You know what I mean? And just get it all out and get that time to yourself. So
Mm.
I would think once you start feeling that pressure and it's becoming too much, take that time because it's definitely needed. That's a sign telling you, hey, you gotta get away from all this for just a little bit. You know what I mean? So that's my opinion on it.
Do you know when you're
That
boiling,
pressure.
Shannon?
I'm a Gemini. It's always there.
Ooh,
But
yeah, it is. Oh my.
it's
Ooh.
always there.
Oh my God. How do y'all
Okay.
deal with Geminis?
But the good thing
Hmm.
I'm just
is,
playing, Sean.
it's
My
okay.
mama
Trust me,
and
we
my
get
son are
heat.
a Gemini. I got it from both sides every day.
Yeah,
Look,
we
for
get
that
heat
matter, how do
all
you
the
deal with a
time.
Libra?
Ooh, well, I got an Aries as my woman, so that's TNT.
Ooh.
Oh.
But as for
Fire.
me,
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
right? As for me, I had to hide the other Gemini side away once I had my first daughter. You got to learn when you got to stop making choices that ain't right for you and your family, and that's
Right.
that's when I locked him up a little bit. Now he does knock on the door every now and then. Hey, let me out for just a little bit. And I'm like, nah, I might crack it, let him breathe a little bit. But you got to control it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
all
that's
the
that's just what
time.
I've learned. He's knocking on the door all the time. She knows, but but I control it. You know what I mean? Most people, as you know, sister, you know me since I've been here.
Oh
I'm a
yeah.
nice person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm a nice guy, but we all have our tipping points. You know what I mean? So with me, it's a matter of just it's hard to do. To control that anger if you're so
Mhm.
used to letting it out. But you just gotta focus. Like just stay focused on the bigger things in life, the bigger goals. Stuff happens to everybody every day. That's real. Part of my language, real shitty to happen. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Um, but you gotta push through it. You gotta learn to just get hit, get back up after you fall, all that type of stuff. That's a part of life. You know, it'll
Yeah.
make you stronger in the end, but it does suck in the moment. Trust me, I know.
Mm-hmm.
Jay, I see
Absolutely.
you.
Hey
I
Jay.
see her name. Now, on the topic of at least tonight, did creating that safe space come after you learned to control it, or did you have to do it before? And what does that mean to you?
It came after. Before, prior, like to my daughters and all that, I was a complete opposite of what you see here and what everybody who knows me know. Like I didn't. You could say one wrong thing and it'll send me off. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Um, so mine definitely came after because that's when I realized, the things that people been telling you your whole life. If you're a bad child, where you're gonna end up if you keep this way and that, this and that. I know we've all heard it once or twice as
Absolutely.
kids. You keep this up, you're gonna end up in prison or this and that. And
Mm.
that's when I realized, like, after like I said, my daughter, my oldest daughter was born, who's 22. Has my granddaughter now. So yeah, I'm up there. I don't look at it, but I'm up there.
You definitely don't look it. Not at all.
Well, thank you.
We're not gonna
Um,
talk about age. We're talking
Yeah.
about creating a safe space.
I'm just saying.
right,
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Woo!
but
I know. I know he's locked
yeah.
down. He said an Aries. I ain't messing with that.
Uh,
That's a good choice. That's a good choice. But no, yeah, it was definitely after because I think when we don't have responsibilities like rent and all this stuff that you have to pay, and then on top of having a child that is reliant upon you.
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot harder because you don't really got nothing to worry about if you're staying at your parents and all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Even people my age that's still doing it. That's
Mm.
part of the
Okay.
reason they
Okay.
might
Wait a
act
minute.
that way.
Snook said it's the hormones. Is it your hormones or hers?
Oh no, she's talking about her. She ain't talking
You
about
talking about
me.
her.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
Having children
yeah,
definitely
not
seems
me.
to be a tipping point for a lot of people, but then there are still some that are out there and children really didn't change the game. Didn't change anything for them, actually.
That's true. That you know, I never understood that as a dad. Like I told my friends before he had his first child, I was like, you could love the woman you're with, you could love your mom, you could love your dad, all them. But the love you feel for your child when you first see him, that's unlike anything else. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And the guys that's there that got them and then just vanished, I just think because they wasn't there from the jump. You know what I mean? From her being pregnant, so they never got to fully be
Thank
invested
you.
because they never
Mhm.
wanted to be. You know what I mean? That's what I teach my girls.
Mhm.
Mhm.
People can play a role as long as they want to get what they want out of you. So you gotta know what to look for, what signs to look out for, and that's what I help them. Like sister, no, I don't think you know Miss Maria, but I have 6 daughters. Well,
Yeah,
five and one on the way. So I'm a
Mhm.
full
oh,
dad's
it's a
girl.
girl.
It is. I lost.
Oh
So
my
yeah,
God.
Not
it's
I
another little
lost.
lady. I
Well,
did.
that's
I did.
okay. That's okay.
I
They'll
Wow.
did.
bring sons into your lives.
Woo, all them
Yeah,
hormones
well,
going on.
not
Oh my
yet. So,
God.
Hey, not yet, but they will.
right. Well, yeah, she's right. I do have a stepson. Snooks has a son, so I have him here now. So but yeah, it's just different. A lot of guys just uh they know how to play their role very well to trick these ladies. You know what I mean? So it's my protection. Even as a Gemini, most people know we're very protective of our loved ones.
Hmm.
So I'm just
Right.
preparing them as much as I can. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And just teach them what to look out for and what to watch for. Even on
Absolutely.
this app, a lot of y'all ladies been duped before. You know what I mean? It's just
Oh
it
yeah.
sucks. It sucks. So I get it.
It really does.
Yeah.
That's why I only go in a few people's lives.
Hmm. Well, I'm a safe live to come in, ma'am. I'm just saying.
Nuh-uh, nuh-uh,
No,
cause no, no, honey, you making me
it's
toxic.
not. It's not safe. It's not.
Oh my.
Oh,
I see you. Yeah. It's mainly
you
not safe
making
for
me
me in my
toxic.
life.
Oh, see, it's ghetto.
Mm-mm-mm.
It is not. It is not.
Hey, Thugger. Hey, y'all.
Tonight will be, but not Wednesday.
See what I'm
I might
saying?
have to tap in for that.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Hey, Becca.
That's why I want to be
Drea.
on Sunday night.
Hmm. I still got the recording from when you was on there.
Ah, hell. I mean,
Yeah,
see, that's not nice, Sean. But
Real
it
okay.
second.
is. I gotta have backup.
Um. Hmm. What do you do when your safe space is interrupted?
I so do. She just said it over there. No, I so do. So like as a dad, I have custody of my little ladies. So they're here with me. My
All
safe
the
place,
time.
the only place I can get to that 90% of men who's family men is the bathroom. That's the only place I can escape to. Um, and it
Okay.
very rarely lasts long before it's interrupted. You know what I mean? So what I do is I just yell from in the bathroom. Like I'm not, give me 5 more minutes to say. Now, just because we're in there does not mean we're using the bathroom. It's just we're woo-sign. We're calming down. You know what I mean? We're catching up on our
Mhm.
sports. We're reading things. You know what I mean? But yeah, this mine's always interrupted. Always. I'll get a
Mhm.
text from Snooks. I gotta go. And I'm like, oh. I'm like, you know what? Okay,
Yep, and
but
then
it's
your time is
okay.
done.
I know.
She said I'm
Yep.
pregnant.
Yep. It is.
Okay.
So that's
Mhm.
what I do when it's interrupted. I give them the time to get in there, but other than that, I won't even say work because I miss my family when I'm at work. I work 12-hour shifts, so I'm gone half the day already just because of that. Um,
Mm.
but I keep in contact, but that's the only time I guess you could say is my safe place away from my own independent time. What about you, ladies? What do you do?
Well, hold on. It's also about you. So your physical place
Oh,
is the bathroom, and
right.
your mental safe space is reading, sports, having that time alone. Or because when we talk
Honestly,
about safe space, it can
yeah,
really mean so many different things.
right, right. Um, with me, I like having fun with everybody. You know what I mean? That honestly, I don't gotta be alone for that. I'm a thrill seeker. I'm very competitive, but in a friendly manner. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So as far as the physical like that, there it would be playing games with my girls, or even if I'm sitting there playing a matching game or playing in the kitchen, a little play kitchen with my 8-year-old daughter or something like that, or me and Snooks are over there watching a movie or going over things that like just as long as it's calm energy and good energy, I love good energy. I can sense auras, bad auras and all that, and 90% of the time in my home it's always good energy,
Hmm.
so just doing fun things to get everybody's mind off of everyday life. You know what I mean? Even for my girls for school, believe it or not, school stresses a lot of kids out. It did, when
Yeah.
I live in a suburban area now. I'm from the hood, but when I had my daughters, I was like, I ain't bringing y'all up here. You know what I mean? So I went to college, I did what I had to do, and now I'm out here, and they're tough on this in school here. You know what I mean? They're really tough on kids. It's one of the top in Ohio. So I just like to get that time away for everybody just to clear your minds and stuff like that. Now it doesn't happen often, but when it does, I really like that. So that's what I like to do.
Well, for me, if my kids are here and they just can't stop saying "ma, ma, ma," because I
Man.
ma, ma, ma.
Oh,
I pick up my stuff. I go right there to the I go right out there to the you know sit by the water, and I have my piece of paper and I just write down everything that that made me mad. Everything I just write down everything negative. I write it down and I tear it up and I toss it in the water. It brings me peace. I toss it in the water.
that really works.
And I yes, well for me it does. I let
Okay.
it go.
That's a
I let
healthy
it go.
ritual. Mhm.
Right. Right.
I
I
let
know
it
a
go.
lot of people that find peace in writing. I think that's why we have so many musicians in this world, honestly, because they're
Yeah.
really expressing, they're letting it all out, they're belting it out, they're singing it out, they're writing it out, poetry, art, drawing.
Right.
There's so many different places that can bring you
Hmm.
that level of peace. It's finding it. Like I can
Because
I
barely
think
if
draw
I
a
I'm.
kept it
circle.
Yeah.
if I
So
kept it in, I would be hell on wheels. I would. If I kept all that in, I would be hell on wheels. Would nobody be able to stand me? Not even my kids.
Britney Spears toxic.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
hmm.
I think
But
I'm still searching for mine.
Me
Um,
too. I am too.
I've been through a lot in my life. You know what I mean? Like to where
yeah.
I guess you would say my storage for BS and anger is very, very, very high. I could tolerate a lot of stuff. Um, but a lot of my old outlet was taken away. Like I was married for 16 years prior to being with Snooks who I'm with now. And a lot of that stuff, like a lot of menus like gaming as an outlet and
Mm.
stuff like that. That used to be mine. But in order to try to make that work, because a lot of women don't like when they're man game and stuff like that. I quit. I think ever since then I never found one again.
Hmm.
So I think a lot of stuff builds up in me, and I it's still stored. So I've still been searching for the right outlet for it. You know what I mean? It used to be fishing. I love fishing, but I don't even do that no more.
Ooh, that's nice.
So
I like fishing. I like
I
yeah, I
love
painting.
love
fishing.
fishing.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't even do that no more. So I think I gotta find something new.
I gotta
So
get on a
yeah.
big boat though. If I'm going fishing, I gotta get on one of them big boats because I get seasick.
I could be shore fishing. I don't even got to be deep in the water. I could be on the side like I used to fish with my daddy and my granddaddy. So I'm fine with that.
Hmm.
Yeah, we ain't have boats back then.
Right? There are too
We were
many
fishing
people
off the
afraid to get
shore.
back on one,
Mm-hmm.
especially after
Mm.
Titanic.
Right. Right. A lot of bad stuff that happened with that.
I was just having a conversation with my mom today, actually, because she had a really rough upbringing as well, and
Hmm.
coming from the deeper parts of Brooklyn as a Puerto Rican woman, her
Okay.
upbringing certainly was different from what she wanted to teach me, which was not to rely on a man and to be more independent. And she's in
Mm.
her
Mm.
60s now trying to find her independency, um, which I'm now trying to help her kind of explore. But she's still kind of going
Mm.
through a situation a little bit, trying to get away from a narcissist, if you could say, for lack of better terms.
Oh.
Mm.
And it just happened to be so funny. We were having this conversation where I asked her, Mom, what is your safe space? I think you
Mm.
really need to learn to create it. Because for
Right.
me, when I thought about what this topic was going to be about tonight, you have routines, like Real Sister was saying, where you have opportunities where you find a way to be able to release it. You have physical places
Right.
where you feel like just being by yourself, having that me, myself, and I mentality where you can just be alone. Sometimes no one ever gets that opportunity to just be alone and just reconnect with themselves. In her
Right.
case, in my opinion, you know, you're finally trying to find your level of independency. You have your own home, you have your own car, you have your own business, and you're afraid to
Mhm.
be
Mm.
alone. So you're finding these things for levels of creativity, habit, routine. You're venturing out and finding new people to be around. But when you are by yourself, do you need someone to reach out to? Do you need
Mm.
to, like, how can you protect yourself in this circle? And who's
Mhm.
in it with you when you're looking for that safe space?
Yeah.
I was like, you have me. You have, I was about to say her name, my sister. And 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 we should be a part of that space. But who else do you need in there so we can keep someone else out of it if they're not making your space safe? When I think about safe space, I think
Yeah.
about my internal being. I can't
Mhm.
be myself 100% with some people because you really need to get to know me to know who I am so that we can both understand each other. You know,
Hey,
Right.
baby.
where can you be 100% yourself and not feel the judgment? Where can you be 100% yourself and know that you're welcome there without having to question it? That's
Right,
where I'm
right.
trying to find her safe space. Where can you
Appreciate you.
know you can be who you are and you can be enough in that space? And who do you let into that?
Right.
How do you let them
Honestly, in my opinion,
in?
um, that's only within yourself.
Thank
Because
you.
whether they say it or not, you're always gonna be judged. You know what I mean? You're always gonna be, even when you tell your best friend, your mom, your sister, your brother, they might not say it right out, but opinions are always formed based on what you do,
Mhm.
no matter who it is you're telling it to. And that's what I was gonna ask you. Um, how do you do that when you're in a
Thank
relationship?
you.
Most people like to keep that privacy, the complications, the difficulties within yourselves. Um, when you do that, and let's say y'all agree, we don't take anything outside of here. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And if it can't get solved, you have nowhere else to go. You have nobody else to talk to. So what do you do in that situation then? If it's like that, that's a big thing that a lot of people deal with too. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna
Um,
be honest. I'm gonna be honest. When I was married, hmm, I had that problem. I mean, of course, he went and he just blabbed everything to everybody. I said, man, you be telling people stuff, and those people might want you know, they might want who you with. So what I did, like that's where I started. See, I lived by the water. It was like a
mm,
little pond, so it had a little bench there. So what? That's where I started writing it down and just tearing it up,
mm,
and I toss it over in. Okay, I'm gonna leave this alone. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna forgive this person. I can't forget it, but I'm gonna forgive this person and I'm gonna move on.
right.
That's where I started doing that at. So it's been a habit. I still do it to this day because it brings me peace.
Mm.
So how many years you been doing that for?
Hmm. Well, I got married in '97, and I couldn't take it no more because he was very abusive. So
Right.
I left. Well, he brought me back home because I started acting a true. I'm gonna see it. I started acting a true asshole. You act
Mm.
like that to me, I'm gonna give it back to you. Now, I
She
mean,
just gave you that
that's
mean
how I
auntie
was at the
vibe right
time.
there.
Toxic.
That right. That was that mean auntie vibe. You made me nervous when she did that.
Whew, right, you got scared, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's how I was at that time. I
Safe
told you,
space.
if you'd have known
Safe
me
space.
back then, you'd have been like, "Oh no, you dragged me to get some help." I'm so serious.
Right. So
But
since
when I
'97.
felt like it, when I was ready, I had to look at my kids were young at the time. I'm not gonna tell you how old my kids are now because I beat and gave my age. But when I they were young at the time, and I had to look at them. They were sitting on the couch, and I was like, "Ooh, real sister, you can't act like that no more." So that's when I looked at them pretty little faces, I went and got me some help.
Mm.
Hmm.
I had to because I was going downhill. I was drinking all day, every day. My neighbors went up. They came
I
in my
like
house and
it.
got the girls ready for school and everything.
Right.
Children
So
can be
yeah,
that tipping
it
point.
it was hard.
Children can certainly
So
be
you
that tipping
said you
point.
started in '97. You started tearing stuff up and throwing it in the water.
Yeah, and
So
I was
you've been.
tearing his stuff
I
up
just
too.
I just want to make sure that I got it right. That you've been polluting the water since '97. Okay, got it.
Mm.
All
Sean,
right.
you are more than enough.
This is a
I'm
no
sorry.
judgment zone. Mm-mm. How I just watched
I'm
Aaron
sorry.
Brockovich today too.
More than enough.
Now I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, but if you haven't, go watch
I'm
it.
just saying.
Talking about water
Just saying.
contamination. Mm-mm-mm.
Oh,
Just
you're
throw it,
right.
just
You're
throw a paper in the
absolutely
water.
right.
No concern. Okay,
My
got it.
bad. Or you got
Feeding the
deepest. My
turtles and the
bad.
fishes.
Right. I'm sorry.
Oh
I
my
wanted to make
goodness.
Hey,
light of that.
after that, I started
Took my
burning
finger
it.
away.
So you didn't want me to burn nothing down.
Not poor duckies.
Oh,
Oh
okay, you got me.
Lord.
You got me. Hey,
That
the
is
water was
that's
already.
that's
I don't do
literally
nothing.
toxic
But
for the
see,
water.
I don't do nothing to no water that's clean water. This water was muddy and dirty.
All water gets filtered through our system, so
Hush,
you
Mm-hmm.
just
know.
You're totally
hush.
right. Go back and watch the movie. You want to watch it on Raid
All
tonight? You want
right,
to
I
watch it
know.
together?
Right.
We can watch it together.
There you go.
No, I ain't watching nothing with y'all.
Let me stop. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Anywho.
Okay.
You got me being toxic on the show that I'm not supposed to be toxic on.
It just follows me. I'm sorry. It follows me wherever I go. Yeah,
I'm not gonna be on your show now.
you is. You already booked.
You
It's
just
too
bring
late.
that. I'm yeah.
It's too
Okay, I'm
late.
very toxic.
Mm, literally. But okay, all right, let's move on.
Yeah.
Oh
uh,
no.
Marie, you got some more
Mm-mm-mm.
questions?
Well, I'll just follow up right now
Still
for
open and honest.
as far as what Real Sister was saying. Could be part of one of the reasons why I'm still single. Maybe, who knows? Um, well, he had asked us both a question. He had asked us what. Oh, what was your question, baby? How do we deal? How do we deal with this level of privacy in a relationship?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Um, one of the main reasons why my son's father, the man I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with, um, decided I was too much for him, was because I talked to my best friend. I told her
Mm,
everything. Now, not everything in the most details of situations, but I had that outlet that I could speak to. Doesn't mean that I listened to
right.
everything that she said, but she was someone that would be able to sit there and not say anything back and just let me talk, let me cry, let me scream, let me cry. Because
See, that's a true
what I
best
wanted
friend.
to do, and he knew that. We've been friends since sixth grade. He knew that. But the reason I even spoke to her was because I can't speak to you. You won't let me in so I can talk to you.
Right.
I
Mm,
don't want to be with anyone that's not going to allow me, whether we need some time apart in order to have that conversation needs to be had.
Hmm.
I don't believe in going to bed angry. I don't. I don't want to. It's so bad for your health. It's bad for your mind. It's bad for your soul. It's bad for your spirit. If you need me to go stay at my mama's, if you need me to go stay with my best friend and you don't want me to say a word about what's going on, that's fine. I can do that. What do I need to do for you so that we can come back to that place of and hear me out? Interrupt me oh so
mm.
many times, but hear me out, and I promise in the same respect, I'm going to hear you. Because then how are we going to cross that boundary? I need to
Right.
understand what it was that I did wrong in your eyes, whether I believe I was wrong or not. That's the part where we might need to take
Hmm.
space.
That's the hardest thing for people to do. You know that?
Self
Yes, it
To
is.
validation.
to listen. To even with me sometimes to really listen to what the other person is saying. You know what I
I
mean?
I
And not
discovered
not try to be judgmental with it. You know what I mean?
I discovered a new thing today. To be very honest with you, a lot of family stuff going on right now. I discovered a new thing today where your intention of what you want may not be how it's presented to the person receiving it. You may have
Right.
every
A
full
lot.
intention to invite me somewhere,
Hmm.
but different personalities are different personalities. Who is it that you're dealing with? I? I need to know you want me there. You can't just say, "Hey, I'm going to breakfast." Okay, have fun. Especially if
See
I
you
know you're the
later.
type of person that will go do that. Okay, I'm going to breakfast. I'll see you later. Bye. And not a pro- and I feel no judgment. Goodbye. But then, well,
Let me
why didn't
tell
you meet
Slick I'm
me?
going to get
Why
something to
did
eat
you?
without her.
Ooh, right.
Mm-mm. No,
You in
no.
some trouble.
You got to know your person,
Right.
Hmm.
but your intention, and I'm using the simplest of things like food, but it could be as far as I want to spend time with you. We haven't had time together all week. You're the type of person that you know, you limit your time, so it's hard for me to know when to spend, especially in building a relationship when you're getting to know that
Hmm.
person. If you're the type
Yeah.
of person where your time is so limited because you work hard, you're a mother, you're a father, you do this, you do, I don't
Right.
tell me you want me there. Otherwise, I'm not going to know that. If you don't know that about me, and then okay, so I didn't call you back, you should have called me back. I didn't know
This
you
is even
wanted me
with
to
your
call you.
partner.
This,
Like if they lived with you, would it be the same? Like if they
it
was going to breakfast, do
could.
you feel like he would still need to let you know you
Well,
want to go?
again, I'm talking the simplest things. What if we take it to a
Gotcha.
different level of the conversation? Your intention may not be how you present it. If you're talking to me a certain kind
Mm,
of way and you're expressing yourself and you're letting it out because it's just in you and you're at that boiling point, and I'm like,
yeah.
whoa, what's happening here?
Well,
Yeah.
Is
see,
your intention to hurt me? Is your intention to put me down? Is your intention to make me feel belittled? Or are you just trying to express yourself and you can't control it and you just want me to hear you?
well,
That
see,
is
Yeah.
the
It's difficult to
extreme
tell. It's
of the
yeah,
difficult
case.
to
it
tell
is
between
very
the two.
difficult to tell. But
It's
see,
very difficult.
Right.
when you move in with each other, and either he take you from your parents' home, or you move in with him and his mom, and then, you know, for me, we were when we were friends, it was okay. When we got married, and he took me away from my home, oh my god, he turned into a gorilla. It
Mm.
was like, dang, who are you? I don't know you no more.
I've said that so many times. You don't know a person until you live with them. I don't care how long y'all been together. Y'all
Yeah.
could be together
Oh
20
my
years. I do
god.
not care. If y'all did not live with each other yet, you do
You don't
not know
know.
that person yet. You have no idea who you're dealing with. That's the thing.
Mhm.
Um, but
Yeah.
it's even hard sometimes to find, that right person for any of that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you're extremely lucky in you when you do, and they're still the same person.
Mm-hmm.
You there's always gonna be little things you hate, that you don't like, you don't agree with, little thing like I know I got a lot of things like she don't like that I do probably, but it's always about an understanding. You know what I mean? Don't
Mhm.
let your attitude and your anger get to you before anything else. Or at least try. Sometimes it
I
will,
ain't
but
gonna lie.
at least
I ain't
try.
gonna lie. He made me angry.
You
Mm.
look like you angry right now. Just
Yeah,
thinking
right.
about
Thinking
it.
about
I had a
it.
rough
Don't
day.
she?
I
You,
had a rough day.
Oh,
you look
we
angry
we're not
right
trying to go in the
now.
past. We're trying to move forward. Okay.
Listen,
But while you're trying to discover that person, trying to find that level of understanding, some people don't know. People don't know how to listen, understand, and take accountability.
Mm-hmm.
That's at the bottom of it
mm,
all. I might need to go into that safe space in order for me to take accountability because we can be
Mm-hmm.
in the fights of all fights and I trust you and I love you, but then I still need to heal afterwards and truly know I'm not going to remake that mistake by taking some level of accountability of how I've made you feel. I
mm.
need my space for that. Are you going to be able to give it to me? Is it so severe
That's
that it's in a situation that we have it the next day where we were in our relationship, at least with this particular individual? We were
Mm-hmm.
already past the fight. And I was in
Okay.
my, ooh. I just realized the
Sorry,
Aries,
those
my bad.
eyes. Those eyes.
Excuse me. We were
I've been
already
using that word lately a lot. That word
account-
has been popping up
communication
in
or
my
accountability.
streams.
Which one?
Accountability when it comes
Mm.
to women and accountability. That's y'all kryptonite. So yeah,
Because
and it is. You know what I mean?
accountability is tied into reliability. If I can
Mm,
rely on you, I need to know that you understand where I'm coming from and that you are
right.
accountable. So again, we're not still making the same mistakes as a couple
Mm-hmm.
over and over again. And a big thing for women, are you my king? Are you my protector? When I'm at the lowest of my low, when I want to put everything and give you my all, I can't give you my all if I have nothing and you don't feed into me.
Okay, now coming to a man's defense. Now, okay, sometimes men are misunderstood.
A hundred
And when
percent.
wait a minute, when men
I said
are
100%.
misunderstood, when men are misunderstood, they tend to clam up because their fear is, if I tell her this, or I've been through this, and I tell her this, she gonna throw it in my face when we have an argument or something.
Women are the biggest judges.
Yes, we
They say
are.
I'm here. They say I'm here
We
for you, and I
certainly are.
understand, and I'm going to help you heal through it. But the minute something happens, well, then that's why, and they
And I
throw it right
can't
back
point my
at
I
you.
can't point my finger at another woman because my thumb goes back to me. Hey, I've been guilty of it.
Pew pew pew.
Mm.
Honestly, I've been
Absolutely.
guilty of
Sean, what do you think about what we just said?
it.
Y'all trying to get me in trouble. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's what
No.
you're doing.
No, that's
Um,
toxic.
No.
That would be toxic of
That's
us.
no. She's the toxic one. Which way am I pointing? This way.
this is because of what I did to you on my show, isn't it? That's
Oh
okay. Uh,
yes. Okay.
all right, I'll say this.
Don't bring me up there, Sean. I'll
I
fight
agree.
back.
Oh, I agree with that though. Not all women has done that, but I mean, all the time with their partner. I know there's stuff I've told Snooks that she's never thrown back in my face. Never done that yet.
And that's
Um,
good. I commend her. I
but
really. Wait a minute.
right,
Wait a minute. You said yet.
it's bound to happen sooner or later. It's just a part of it. I'm just saying,
Uh-uh.
it's just a part of life. But that's not what I would say the biggest thing is. Oh my God, get her out,
Oh
get her
Lord.
out.
Midnight.
Get,
Hold on.
see that
Midnight.
Miss Toxic, you see that?
Midnight. I
But
see your comment, baby. And you're right.
right.
Especially black men.
Oh my
All
goodness.
men,
It
truly.
ain't
But
it
it is
ain't just
okay.
that though.
It is okay.
The it is. The biggest thing I think that men have trouble dealing with is when it comes to relationships and their woman is when a lot of women say they want us to be open and be free, tell you how we feel. Even if that's directed towards you. A lot of times when we do that, um women take it personal, instead of just listening, hearing us. So we
Hmm.
don't do it. And if we do it one time or two times and we see your reaction is what is not supposed to be, what you're not listening, you're not really understanding, we'll stop
Well,
Hmm.
and we
see,
won't do it again.
we'll see it. What
Because that's your
Hold on.
chance to
Hold on.
show us that you're really here to listen, and that's it. And not
Sean,
come back at us with stuff.
Mm-mm.
because this is full, just in my opinion, Sean, what does that look like to you? What does a
What do you
woman
mean?
so you gave an example of one or two mistakes. What does a woman understanding where you're coming from look like to you?
It's listening and responding in a manner to where it's not defensive. You know what
But
I mean?
what's her
Like
reaction look
I
like?
definitely it's like if I say something, it's like, okay, I understand and I hear where you're coming from. What can I do to fix this?
Hmm.
What can I do to what can I do to change it? To make you feel like, I'm not like this no more. It's a matter of
Mhm.
uh you showing us that you really understand what we're saying, whether it's delivered in a way you don't like or not.
Hmm.
And because she's right, delivery is key sometimes. But when
Mhm.
we're venting as a man, you know what I mean? When we're venting, it's gonna get delivered all types of ways. You still need to receive it the way we're telling you. You know what I mean? We might be a little mean, might be a little jerkish with it, but it's all with the same intent of not trying to hurt you, of
Hmm.
trying to just tell you what it
Mhm.
is. And
Because your
and instead of
intention of
coming
what you're trying to say may not be what you display. But the
exactly,
catch
exactly,
22 is her reaction of receiving what you are displaying. What if
right.
she needs to create that safe space? And when she does, she comes back and says, I get it, I understand. Net, if that's the catch 22, because then you just explained her reaction, though, is going to shut you
Yeah.
down because you might not believe it. How do we get through that together?
So if let's say your man vents to you and it comes
Hmm.
off as him being an asshole to you or something like that, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Don't respond right away. Just be like, okay, just give me a second and fully understand we're not trying to really be an asshole, but this has probably been built up over time. You know what I mean? Um, so it's a matter of, okay, you wanted it. Now we done told you what it is, and now you're getting defensive. Now you're getting angry. And before you respond, if you can, before you respond to us, if you need to take a little bit of time to calm down to the other way it might have came off, then take it. Don't respond right away.
So
I mean,
create
I
that
would rather
space
you had
first
not.
and not after.
Right. I would rather you not say nothing than
Mm.
you to respond immediately and it come off as now you're defense mode. You know what I mean? Now you want it ready to attack back. Because I never meant to attack you. I'm just venting to you. And a lot of women sometimes take it as an attack, and that's not it. That's not our intention when we're
Well,
Trying
see,
to
venting.
think about what you want to say before it just comes out to say it.
Yeah.
the thing the problem that I had with that, and I didn't let it go. I just hear it.
You did? Because that
I'll
looked like you still holding on to it.
The way she was
to
looking
what?
earlier, huh? And the way she
Oh
looking
no,
now.
no, no. When I heard a man say y'all women this, y'all women that, I mean, you venting to me. So why? At first, I was like, damn, he talking about all women. I would get, kind of an attitude. Hey, I'm not all them women. I had to think about that because at that time we was having problems, and he just that's when he started going and talking to other people. And then he didn't know that his friends was trying to talk to me all at the same time. See, I'm not that type of person, so I told him. But it's crazy because now I understand that, well, it's not, you're talking to me, but you're not talking about me, but you're just talking about women in general.
Right.
Took me a minute to get that.
Yeah. And there's a difference though between when a guy says, about all women, and when he's trying to vent to you about his issues with you directly. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So a lot of times when guys might say all women, I've done it plenty of times. She's done it with all men. I'm sure y'all have said all y'all men. Another one thing a lot of women say is all ninjas ain't, what nowadays.
But
I'm sure y'all done
I
said it.
can't say
I know
that.
y'all done said it.
I used to say it, but when I thought about
Hmm.
it, I can't
Maria
say
looking like
that
I
no
just
more
said it
because I don't
yesterday.
know them
Like
people. I can't put every man in a predicament that I can't even
4
put you
hours
in it
ago.
because I don't know you like that. So why would I
right.
say all men?
But it's okay sometimes. Like it just depends on like who you're saying it to. Like for me, I don't take offense. I just know you dealt with a bunch of bad guys. You know what I mean? That's okay. I don't mind. I don't get offended at nothing like that. But it's a difference between when I'm telling you directly or you're telling me directly what you don't like. What's going on, and if you can perceive that as not an attack, as okay, let's fix this to make this better then. Because not everybody is perfect, so stop trying to act like it. You know what I mean? That everybody has flaws, and when we tell each other what they are, we need to listen.
Right.
And that's the biggest problem. Nobody is perfect. You're not always
Especially if
right.
you can take
You know what I
account
mean?
for your own flaws. If you know what they
Right.
are and you're trying to fix them on your own, sometimes you need that support. You gotta let that.
Yeah. Or you might
I'm
need that
a
person to tell it to you. You
That's
know what I
right. That's
mean?
right.
right. You
Now,
might not be able
if
to
you
know
get
yourself.
offended at it, that's on you. You know what I
No,
mean?
the
Like,
truth
but try
hurts.
not to.
The truth
you
Mhm.
hurts.
know, Especially when it comes to having a successful relationship. That is a
Mm-hmm.
big component, a really big component to succeeding. Once it gets to the point where you just not understanding and you don't get it, but you claim you do, but your actions show you don't, that's
Mm-hmm.
when things start to go real bad. You know what I mean? That's when guys will shut down, women will
Mhm.
shut down. You know what I mean? That's just what happened. A lot of stuff. I don't like you said you had your best friend, you got to be real careful on who you tell your problems with. Like Sis said, they might want that man, or I don't want nobody looking at my partner in a bad light. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So I keep it to myself. You know what I mean?
And
I'd
some
rather
people
work
just
on
don't
it
care.
individually.
Mhm.
Right. I'd rather work on it. I don't want them not fully knowing who you are, but only hearing bad things I say about you. So
Mm-hmm.
now they're judging you without knowing you, and they already think you're a bad person.
Which is
That's
exactly
that's the
how he
tricky part
felt.
about that.
And I learned that
Right.
way too long later. to be able to fix
Yeah,
it in
but
so many ways.
that's how life is, you know.
Hmm.
We don't. We're still growing. I'm only who I am now because of my exes. You know, I learned
Hmm.
after the relationship what to
Mhm.
do, how to maintain it. You know, whether they're exes or not, they turned me into who I am now as a
Right.
man. You know what I mean? So it's you take away good key components of it, and then you rock with it. You know. But yeah, that's the biggest thing. Just understanding each other and listening and not judging and not getting offended and not getting angry. You know, that's the big successful things in relationships right there. Just a little throwing little things out there for you.
Whew.
No, much
That's all.
appreciated. Much
Well,
appreciated.
honestly, I'm gonna be honest. That's kind of hard,
Mm.
It
especially
is.
when you
It's
have a
tough.
narcissist.
Mm.
Hmm.
You got a narcissist, get away. I'm just gonna tell you
Yeah,
that now.
far away.
Get away.
Mhm.
Because
When you
nothing's
got a
going to change
narcissist,
that person.
it's over with. Get away.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I know we're
Hold on.
rearing to end,
Thank
but I at
you.
least want to come back a little bit because we did jump into the relationship and being able to have that safe space between your partners. But going back to
Mhm.
yourself, we touched on a lot of things: accountability, judgment, trust, belief in another
Right.
person. How do you find that when you lose that within yourself?
Say that one more time. My daughter's taking my charger. One more time.
Oh, that's okay. We talked a lot about judgment,
Right.
Mhm.
trust, and faith in
Hmm.
someone else. When you've been through a lot of traumatic situations, how do you find that level of accountability, reliability, trust, vulnerability within yourself? It's great when we
To
have
be able to,
people that have been through it, but what about for the ones that are
right.
still struggling in that phase? How did you get there if you
Oh,
got there?
that honestly, man, that is probably the toughest thing to do. It's hard. It's self-discipline. You know what I mean? Mm, because I'm trying to think of how to explain this right because it's so hard to teach. It's almost like something you got to accomplish within yourself.
Hmm.
Um, mm. So the
It's
way I
okay.
did it, at least, the way I did it was mainly not. So they say when you bring baggage into a new relationship, you know what I mean? Like trust issues. You know, you've been cheated on your whole life and you just kind of don't trust nobody now. You might get in a relationship, but you're not gonna trust them. A lot of people use the terms, you know, why should I trust you? I don't know you. You know, stuff like that. Like I'm the opposite. I trust you until you give me a reason not to trust you.
Right.
You
Hmm.
know, I respect you until you give me a reason not to respect you. That's one of the biggest problems I have with the term, you know, respect is earned, not given. That's not true. Respect is easily given and it can
Hmm.
be easily taken away. You know what I mean? If you show me a reason, you know, you give me a reason. But to to your question, it's just a matter of, like Sister said, when she takes that stuff and throws it in the river and pollutes the water and
Oh,
gets rid
you
of
got to
it,
bring that up again.
um, you
Oh, we're
know,
gonna be
you
talking
gotta
about that
find
all
your
night between me and you, just so
you
you
gotta
know.
right, you gotta find your outlet of letting stuff go. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Not everybody's the same.
Some people
Everybody's
can't let
different.
it go. Some people cannot let it go at
Then you need
all.
to take your time before you get in another relationship because you're gonna take that out on the next person, and that's not fair to them. You
That's
know what I
true.
mean?
Hmm.
Everybody, even whether they like it or not, everybody does it. You know, a little bits and pieces are always brought over because there might be something that your partner does that might trigger that little reaction. You know what I mean? And you just got to reflect on it like this ain't that person. But man, I done dealt with this stuff before so many times. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like it's just, it's irritating. So
Hmm.
when you start feeling like that, you know, take your time away, take your peace. You know what I mean? Just go and realize, you know, this person's in it for the long haul, like you, hopefully. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And try to come to a mutual ground. You know, so don't always be angry. Don't always, you know, try to belittle each other. You know, you gotta find that way to just let it go. That's just that's the biggest thing. You gotta let it go. Because if you bring it with you, it's gonna haunt you forever. So that's my advice. Whatever you've been through, when you get with the next, let everything go and start over. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? That's how you start, in my opinion.
You find your peace.
Hmm.
Right,
I
right.
certainly agree. I think for me, a lot of people, well, for me, I think representation is key. What
Hmm.
do you want to stand? What do you want to stand on, and what do you want to believe in, and what do you want to represent, not just to the world, but to yourself? Um, and that's a hard thing to capture or really to understand because there's a lot of people. I definitely have the I don't care attitude. I do.
Mm,
I'm
Well,
an Aquarius. I definitely do.
you know, when you go through stuff with your mate or your friends or however it is, sometimes you lose that love for yourself.
Hmm.
So you have to get that back before you can move to another relationship.
right.
RuPaul says it.
That's
How
true.
you gonna love yourself? How you gonna love somebody else if you can't love yourself?
That's right.
You have to
Very
start.
true.
I want to represent myself to be, and I want to love myself in the way that I want my partner to love and represent themselves too. So
That's
that
right.
when we come together, I know what my flaws are and I'm ready to take on what yours are at the same time and do it together because that should be a long haul partnership. Some people aren't ready for that and then they jump into whatever's just there. And it starts with
Mhm.
you first,
Right.
loving
That's true.
you, and the
Because I could say
pieces
I
that
love
you don't
myself.
love, let that other person love for
That's
you.
why I said I love myself. I'm in love with myself. And I have agape love for myself. Because at one point in time, I could forgive in and everybody for doing stuff, but I couldn't forgive myself.
Man.
And when you can't forgive yourself and you can't love yourself, then everything that you put your hand on is going to mess up until you start forgiving yourself and loving yourself.
Mm.
True. True. There you go.
So, yeah.
Good advice, ladies. Good advice. Before I get out of here, I want to say one thing. Before I get out of here, I do my outro in a little bit. I have a
DC?
piece of advice to the ladies in here and everybody listening. Um, Stop telling men what y'all want. And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. This is something I realized myself not too long ago. When you get in a relationship, you want to tell them what you expect, what you want in a man. You are giving this man a blueprint to pretend. Oh my God. You're giving this man a blueprint to pretend to be exactly what you just told him you wanted until he gets what he wants.
Mm.
That's true.
So when you get in a relationship, you start talking to a man, do not tell him everything. If you don't stop, if you if you don't do not tell him everything you want. I'm being honest. I told my oldest daughters this. You know what I mean? If you tell him like I want this in a man, I expect this. He could
Mhm.
pretend to be everything you want now because you gave him the blueprint to your heart. You know what I mean? Stop doing that. If a guy comes and be like, well, what are you looking for? My response that I told him to tell them from now on is I know it
Looks.
when I see it. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Stop telling these guys what it is you want because they're gonna show you exactly what you want to see and be pretending to be what you want. That's all I had to say
That's
about that.
very
That's
true.
great advice. That's great.
Yeah.
And he stops using you here, he gonna use you till he can't use you no more. Then he gonna kick you to the curb.
And you're gonna be like, well, what happened? Well, you
You
told him
don't
what you
love
wanted, and he
me.
pretended he pretended to be what you wanted until he got what he wanted, and now he's gone.
Yep.
Stop doing that. Start telling people I know when I see it. You know what I mean? You want to date me? That's fine. I could tell you, I'll be able to tell you eventually if you are what I want. You know, if not, then on to the next.
That's
But I gotta
great.
get ready. I'm gonna do my outro if you don't mind. Maria,
Yeah,
it
go
No,
was a
ahead,
please
go
do.
ahead.
You
pleasure
gotta go
meeting you.
get that milkshake and fries. Copy. Go ahead now.
I gotta start my stream for my show tonight. But
Oh
it's your
yeah.
boy Sean. I
With
appreciate you
milkshake
having me,
first.
sister, as always. Maria, I faved you. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you back to friend.
You will see me. tonight at 9 p.m., y'all, on my show, Toxic Thoughts, Sober Minds After Dark at 9 p.m. Oh my God, not trap. That is toxic. You see what I'm talking about? Um, 9 p.m. tonight. Other than that, you catch me Wednesdays, every Wednesday at 12 noon Eastern on the regular Toxic Thoughts Sober Mind, where we ask toxic questions, situations, and scenarios, and we get y'all opinion on them. And based on your answers, we judge if you are toxic.
Careful. Careful
I
who
am
you
not
really
going
want on that show,
nowhere.
son. Be very, very
She
careful.
said please and thank
Oh,
you.
we are. I'm gonna get you on there too, Maria. So we're
Yeah,
gonna
good
see.
luck. Thank you for coming.
Bye, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Till
It was a
next time.
pleasure. Thank you.
All right, y'all.
Well,
Thank you for coming out to You Are Enough.
thank you, y'all.
It's a safe space to vent, talk about the things that some people can't talk about. If you would
Mhm.
like to be on the show, you could get in contact with myself, Maria, 84 Productions, and we'll get you there. Thank you, boo. I'm ready to be toxic though.
Oh, let me get out of here. Let me get out of
on
here.
Sean show.
Mm-mm.
Just want to let y'all know I'm gonna be on Sean's show. I think the ninth. Is it the ninth, Sean? I might be. Not tonight, but the next one. But y'all have a good night. We went over a little time. Oh, thank you. Oh, in 2 weeks. Okay, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna be on the show in 2 weeks. Y'all get to see how a real sister is not toxic. But thank you. Um, this week right here, what I want you to do. Oh, I know you ain't. You put me out there. I'm not toxic, Maria. Anyway, um, I want you to know this week right here. Oh, thank you. This week coming up, what I want y'all to do is take peace with you. Throughout anything that's going on in your life, take peace with you this week right here. Don't let nobody at your job mess with you. Just stay peaceful. Mentally find your safe space and stay there until you can focus enough to come out of it and listen to these people, because you know the world today is getting crazy. So we did go over a little time, and I was having fun talking about the topic. And like I said, if anybody has a topic you want to talk about, just once again get in touch with 84 Productions, me or Maria, and let us know if you would like to be on the show. And if you have a topic that you don't want to be on the show, but you want to hear somebody else talk about, you can also get in touch with us. And y'all have a blessed night. Once again, it's okay not to be okay. You are more than enough. And y'all have a blessed night.